Welcome, everybody, in the Movie Guys verse. This is Jordan here, part of Movie Guys Podcast. We wanted to say thank you so much for downloading this most recent episode. If you don't know what Movie Guys Podcast is, we are a new movie review show that is updated weekly. You can check us out at movieguyspodcast.com and also movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. Sit back and enjoy the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another awesome episode of Movie Guys Podcast. And tonight, we are talking about Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I am Jordan, and I'm joined here, like always, with my buddies Eric and Ed. Eric, how are you doing tonight?
I'm bicycle kicking into the next Movie Guys Podcast. Ed, how about you?
Well, I feel like Johnny Cage kicked me in the nuts or punched me in the nuts after having watched Annihilation once again. And those were $400 sunglasses, you asshole.
There you go.
Wow, I'm surprised neither of you guys said finish him, but okay. I thought
we're leaving that for you.
I was saving that. Yep, I was saving that.
Oh, okay. So tonight we're talking about Mortal Kombat for two reasons. One, we got nothing coming on before Endgame because we're all three excited to give you guys a great review for Endgame. So this is a nice little filler before we get into Endgame. And the second reason is Mortal Kombat 11 just was released 2 days ago. Mortal Kombat 11 came out and to huge reviews. So we figured we might as well just talk about the two movies. Both not great, but one of them has nostalgia. I think we can agree with that. But before we go into it, Ed, I'll ask you first. Let's forget about the movies real quick. Are you a Mortal Kombat fan? Did you play the games? Did you like the games?
Absolutely. Even to this day, including the movie and everything that's come since the movie for me. Every time I hear the EDM, the Mortal Kombat, yeah. Oh, I get pumped. I get so pumped. That's the extent of my love of Mortal Kombat, really. I mean, I play it. I loved playing it in the arcades. But I'm not really a story guy with Mortal Kombat. I know there is one. I just don't know it. It was just more of a video game to fight with your friends and then throw controllers at them.
Okay. The lore is what is the greatest things about Mortal Kombat. It's lore and violence. That's basically it.
I agree with that. I just don't know it that well. I mean, I know Liu Kang is Kung Lao's kid, and then Scorpion and Sub-Zero are brothers but hate each other.
No. No.
Listen, I knew you were going to give us the lore. I knew you were going to give us the lore anyway, so you might as well just go right into it.
Well, no, I mean, let's talk about it because there's two different movies.
Yes.
And these are obviously two different directors here, but too, because the second one was just well, it was, I don't even know. Yeah, Dirt is a good thing to say.
Yeah.
Because it certainly was. But at the same part, yeah, when you talk about nostalgia, like the Mortal Kombat is off of the hype. This movie came out 1995.
Yes.
And it was coming off of the hype of video games that could be turned into movies. So of this area, of this genre, what other movies you had? What, like Mario Brothers, maybe Double Dragon?
Double Dragon and Mario Brothers. Still to this day, this is the most highest grossing in the box office video game movie to date.
Let's not forget about the great Street Fighter movie.
Yes, but it was not
Raul
the box office.
Yeah. Greatest casting.
This movie came out during the same time as the release of Mortal Kombat 3, the original trilogy. So Eric, I asked Ed the question, did you play the games at all, Eric? Are you a big Mortal Kombat fan?
This had so much nostalgia for me just because I remember going to arcades. I remember when 2 and 3 came out. When the arcades were by my house, I remember when they had 2 cabinets that they bought, and every other cabinet was ignored.
Mhm.
There were crowds, lines up around these two, and that was 10-year-old Eric. That was what I remember very much. Was doing that. I remember like just peeking over and looking, as like the older teenagers would be able to play, because I mean I was I had been like 10 maybe, probably 12, and it would go along there, but like they obviously were a lot way better than me, and so I had to just watch. I remember like peeking over. I remember some of them being, "Hey man, you're peeking in too much," but it's because it was just so it was amazing. Like all the
Mhm.
characters, all the special moves was just amazing, and how realistic it looked. All the blood and just how it was actual. It looked like there was no more cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Toasty.
Toasty.
Oh, that's
Toasty.
it.
Toasty.
Big
Um,
debate on that one.
So, just a few things here that's kind of fun for all nostalgia trip before we get into the actual movies. And these are very quick. But one, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the reason why Johnny Cage in the first game looks so familiar to you guys is because Ed Boon and John Tobias, the creators of the first Mortal Kombat game, were hired to do a Jean-Claude Van Damme game off of his movie.
Okay.
So that's why. So Johnny Cage is Jean-Claude Van Damme, but they decided to code and make this game instead. The second thing was this game was released on consoles for Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. Sega Genesis outsold Super Nintendo because of this one reason only. Mortal Kombat, the very first game, is the reason why we have a rating system for video games. Now, if you bought the Super Nintendo version, the fatalities are gone, and they coded in the blood with sweat.
Yeah.
So it's completely censored. But if you bought the Sega Genesis version, which
Blood
I
mode.
had,
Blood mode, baby.
you had a blood mode. You had a code that you typed in the beginning of the game, which was not a hack. You just typed in the code, and you got all the fatalities and everything you wanted for that game. So that was amazing. So when they said that there was going to be a Mortal Kombat movie, I was bought hook, line, and sinker. My dad took me to the opening night. I couldn't be more excited. I walked out of that theater saying, greatest movie ever.
Yeah.
I mean, that ending battle, which we're jumping, but that ending battle between Liu Kang and Shang Tsung at the end of the first Mortal Kombat movie. Oh my God, that was fucking awesome.
Listen, I really liked the first movie. I remember when my parents, because I obviously begged and I was like, Mom, Dad, please, I don't even give a shit. Take me to see this movie ASAP.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I needed to go see it. I remember my dad was just like, well, I think he fell asleep. I really do. But I remember my mom, who was such a fucking nerd, she thought it was, she actually liked it. She's just like, well, she liked the techno music, and she just loves just blood action, like just straight up. Completely uncharacteristic for most moms, but she's just one of those where she was sci-fi nerd, and she just loved that the blood action basically, and that's what
That
we
explains
got
a lot
out of
about you.
this. Yeah, doesn't it? Like it's come up in conversations before.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Ed, what about you, man? Were you excited for the release of this movie?
I was 6, so no.
All right. Well, moving on.
I mean, this is what it is.
Okay.
Sorry, I was 6. I mean, I hate to date myself that way, but yeah, I mean, I don't remember anything about any of that.
There was
Wow.
I
Okay.
do remember this movie though bringing up kind of it was exposure to future disappointments of film adaptations.
Yeah.
Because just because in this movie you have the whitewashing of Raiden, played by Chris Lambert.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There
Yeah.
can be only one Elder God.
And it's just like, why this dude is, first off, I mean, it's Chris Lambert, so you kind of like, he's already typecasted into kind of his roles, but then for him to play like this ancient electric god type of, like, it was
For Chris Lambert to play an ancient thunder Asian god.
the Asian part, yeah.
But Chris Lambert's Raiden, right? I mean,
He is, yeah.
yeah, right? Okay,
I don't think so.
So in the first game, you had a secret character that you can unlock and fight, and that was Reptile. the Green Ninja.
Yeah.
Now, the ways that you could actually unlock him is that you had to be on the pit stage. You had to perform a double flawless victory, and you had to do the pit stage where they fall off of it. And that's when you can fight Reptile. So Reptile in the game was just a green ninja. Eric, Ed, you've seen this movie. Reptile is this terrible CG reptilian creature that didn't become Reptile into the Liu Kang fight. Ed, let's go with you first, since Eric's a big fan of Mortal Kombat. Ed, what do you think about the Reptile characterization in this?
I thought it was absolutely terrible. I mean, when you get, like you said, it was a CG, terrible CG, and I mean, it was what it was for the times, I guess. But it never did anything to me. And then when you finally got Reptile, he was just this thing that he threw into a dead body in Outworld, a dead giant body that morphed into a green Sub-Zero.
Yeah, but it was still a badass fight, though. It was like
a great fight. It was the second best fight in the whole first movie.
Right. So Eric, let's just throw away the Liu Kang Shang Tsung fight, right? Because we're all going to agree. Besides that one, Eric, which one is your favorite fight in this movie?
Goro, it might be a tie between Goro and Scorpion. And that's his personal opinion. Goro was not CGI.
No,
and that's why I liked that so much. It looked like CGI does not hold up well in 90s movies or 90s games. When 90s did the Porygon or the Polygon thing. Porygon is a Pokemon. Jesus.
Yeah.
But when they did the polygons, it didn't really work. It don't hold up well, much like 90s CGI, much like any sci-fi movie. It does not hold up well after however long many times. It just looks bad, and that's just what it is. But Goro stayed true to kind of that the 80s and the early 90s era, where it's just like, no, let's use servos, let's use prosthetics, and let's make this look as real as we can. That's what I remember the most was Goro and the Johnny Cage fight.
Okay. My favorite fight was actually Sonya and Kano, because they were fighting in the arena from the first game, the sand pit with Shang Tsung looking over. Yeah. And it was a personal fight, so I kind of enjoyed that fight a lot. But Scorpion is definitely a close second. They fucked up Scorpion because his rope does not come out of his hand. His rope is literally tied around. But anyway, Ed, what is your favorite fight in this movie?
Yeah, the reptile Liu Kang fight.
That was your one? That one's great.
I mean, other than the Liu Kang Shang Tsung fight, like that's obviously the best battle, with the exception of like the beginning of that, or the middle part of that fight, when he transforms right in front of you into Liu Kang's little brother. And like all of a sudden, Liu Kang's like, "Wait a minute, that can't be you, brother!" Like it just to me that didn't make sense at all.
It totally made sense because that's what Shang Tsung does. He steals souls, dude.
No, I get that, but what I'm saying is like he should have transformed into him as he was running up the steps so that he was there. Other than you're literally staring at the back of the head of Shang Tsung. Like Liu Kang is staring at his back of his head. All right, then all of a sudden he turns around and he's his brother. Like really? Yeah. Like, that was terrible.
So the first movie ends with Shang Tsung being defeated. Everybody's going back to Liu Kang's temple. Everybody's celebrating. And Shao Kahn pops up and says, "You weak, pathetic fools, I'm going to take your souls." And Christopher Lambert's like, "Not on my watch, you're not." And then Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah.
The second movie, Annihilation, picks up right at that moment. And we get all new characters besides Katana and Ronnie Yu, and also Johnny Cage, the same actor, came back just to be killed in the first 5 seconds. And Shao Kahn kills Johnny Cage, and then they say, "Hey, guess what? There is an underground tunnel that you have to ride in a sphere, like a hamster wheel thing, to take you to dimensions," right? Now, in the first movie, we saw Johnny Cage kill Scorpion.
Yeah.
But in this movie, Scorpion comes back.
Yeah.
He fights He fights Sub-Zero, which I'm just going to tell you, just the nerd in me, this Sub-Zero is different. The Sub-Zero that died in the first movie, who also died in the first game, will later become Noob Saibot. This Sub-Zero in this movie and the Sub-Zeros in all the games thereafter the first one is Sub-Zero's brother. So they did stay true to that. But that Scorpion fight and Sub-Zero fight was the best fight in this whole movie, and that's not saying much. Eric, do you agree?
Yeah, listen, Annihilation was little to no substance and story, no introductions. It was just two characters. They would go in there and they'd be like, "Oh, I guess we're fighting now." Or you'd have, yeah, exactly. Where you have a situation where, like, I think it was Jax, where he's just walking and all of a sudden, fucking Cyrax just busts through the wall, not even a door or window, a wall, and just starts fighting him. And it's just like, well, I don't know who you are, but I guess I'm fighting Cyrax now.
Right? Okay. So before we talk more shit, I just kind of want to say this really quick. Because it was a shit movie, but Ed, I'm going to do this for you mostly. So this is what this movie should have been. In the second Mortal Kombat game, Shang Tsung goes to Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn's going to kill Shang Tsung. And Shang Tsung says, wait, if you make me young again, let's have the next tournament be an Outworld. And Shao Kahn's like, let's do it. That should have been this movie, right? Let's have a second tournament.
You'd think.
Why are we having a tournament? No, what we get is Liu Kang has to go see Nightwolf. Why? And Nightwolf gets him to understand that he has an animality.
Yeah.
Which is in the third game, but they were more for fun. They threw, Eric, they threw so much fucking characters in this movie. Like every Mortal Kombat character ever was in Annihilate. It was so confusing.
So this is kind of where I have to acknowledge movies like Mortal Kombat 1 through was it 4? Is it they made a third and fourth one, didn't they?
No.
They made a TV show.
Is that what it was?
They made a TV show on YouTube, yeah.
Okay. I thought they made, but I had to acknowledge this because you have to obviously practice in order to get it right. And what they failed in these movies was you took a director who knew nothing about anything about what this was, and they were told or asked to make this. Same with Mario Brothers. Same with Tim Burton in Batman. Like, you know, you say, "Hey, director, have you heard of this?" And the director goes, "No, I've never heard of this." Like, good. Here's a fucking script. Here's
slightly less money than the other guy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what they did. And the reason why Mortal Kombat Annihilation, I think, was so shitty is because that the director probably had like a kid or like a cousin or a nephew who played the game, or he didn't know nothing about it. And I'm giving him credit, because if he knew everything about it, then you really suck.
Well, that's the thing is, I wanted to, since you brought that up, let's talk about Paul W.S. Anderson, right? Paul W.S. Anderson is a piece of shit. Why? Because he not shit on one thing that I love. He didn't shit on two things that I love. He shit on three things that I love. This guy's the worst director ever, because he made the first Mortal Kombat movie, which is only good because of nostalgia. It's pretty shitty. He made Resident Evil. Now, that is the first... Now, that movie's legitimately fucking fun, but he shits on the whole thing of Resident Evil.
He sure does.
And then he does AVP, which that had nothing to do with the source material besides the name.
I'll give you one. Can I throw you one? Event Horizon.
I would love to hear you.
Event Horizon.
The saving grace was fucking the dude from Jurassic Park, and that's it.
Sam Neill. But yeah, it's a hard defense, because obviously of this dude's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 24 movies, the one thing I can use to stand against is Event Horizon.
Right. So, okay. So, Eric, you played the games. Baraka, right? One of
Yeah.
my favorite characters from the game. Looks really cool in the game. He is a guy that has fangs, that has these sword hand claws. He looks in this movie, he looks very fat and very rubbery because they made Goro look so good, but in this movie, they made all these special effect real life characters be very rubbery. Everything was rubbery. It was like a Batman and Robin cod piece. Very rubbery.
Yeah,
Very rubbery.
They fucked up with Blanca too on Street Fighter, and Baraka and Blanca are basically the same character from Capcom and Midway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing. So let's get to the end here of Annihilation, where we get the fight between Liu Kang and we get the fight between Shao Kahn. And the only way that they can win, because they get a stalemate in their human form, they got to transform into their animalities. Liu Kang turns into a dragon, which he does in the game, and Shao Kahn turns into a Hydra, which he doesn't do in the game. It doesn't make sense. And then they have other characters that don't even are named. They have Sonya Blade going against Ermac, which is a big character. And you have Jax going against Motaro, who is a big character. And they're like, just nothing fights. Just, and they don't even have the music. How do you not have the music in this movie?
Yeah, it didn't hit. That's a damn shame too, because I really liked the cyborgs in the franchise. I really did, whether it be Ermac or Noob Sabat or
Smoke.
Yeah, Smoke would be another one, or
Sector.
Cyrax. Yeah, like I
Sector.
really liked a lot of those cyborgs. They were my favorite characters to play until Mortal Kombat 3 came around and I had Cabal to choose from. But,
Which I don't know why you're not excited for Mortal Kombat 11 because Cabal makes his debut back in the
nice.
game.
I'd have to check it out. I didn't look too much into that game, but Cabal was probably my favorite character in the franchise, or at least he was only in the one game, wasn't he? Wasn't he? No, he was in two.
No, he was in Mortal Kombat 3 and he was in Armageddon, which was the last of the main two games, and now he's back in this one. So, one trivia question before we close out our show here, guys. So, there is one character that is known to be the character of Mortal Kombat. There was only one game that this character was never in the game. And then all the other Mortal Kombat games from past till now, the character's been in. Eric, what was the character in what game that never showed up, but was in all the rest of them?
Oh man, I don't fucking know. It has to be a stable character. So is it one of the ninjas?
It is the biggest character in Mortal Kombat, and they were not in the third game. They were in the rest. I'm sorry, he was not in the third game.
Who's not in the third
Any
game?
idea?
No, because
Now, of course,
Sub-Zero was in the third game, but he was unmasked, wasn't he?
well, that's his brother, remember?
Oh,
but
so
remember
Sub-Zero.
Yeah, Sub-Zero. So, okay, that's your answer. Okay, Ed, do you have any thought of who would it be?
The only one that I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the only one I could think of would be like Liu Kang or Johnny Cash or somebody.
Johnny Cage.
I like
Johnny
Johnny
Cash.
Cash.
Yeah.
We can call him Johnny Cash.
He was the Man in Black.
Yeah. Okay, so here was the question, and here's the answer. Name the one character that was not in Mortal Kombat 3 that has been in every single game besides Mortal Kombat 3. And the answer was Scorpion.
It's got to be one of the ninjas.
Now, a year later, in 96, they re-released Mortal Kombat 3 as Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and that's when they added him to it. But the initial game, they did not. All right, let's get into our popcorn ratings here, everybody. And let's not do the individual movies. Let's go overall, right? So this is a little bit of a different of a popcorn rating. Eric, I'm going to go with you first. Here's my question for a popcorn rating. If I'm a stranger on the street and say to you, Eric, I've never seen the Mortal Kombat movies, what popcorn rating would you give it?
That's tough because I feel you need to know what Mortal Kombat is, and you need to know, You have to like some kung fu movies too. Also, it doesn't really hold up too well. Like if you're to watch it now, like fresh eyes now, compared to a very high bar that's been set with today's movies, it's hard to. Ooh, that second one is you.
No.
You owe me popcorn, okay? Like
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not even an empty bag. You're now in debt. It's because of how bad that movie was. The first one though was such a cultural kind of set piece there, both musically and character wise and action wise. It worked for the time. Did it have its faults? Plenty. But did it work for the demographic that it was targeted for? Yes. The first one did, and I'd say that first one, if you have to bite the bullet and watch the second one, then that's a small bag. But that first one might be a little bit extra juice on there. That's a fun night of some drinking and some movie watching right there. I'd give that first one a medium bag for show, but that second one is probably what I should out the night after.
Nice. Ed, same question. What's going to be your popcorn rating for this franchise?
Yeah, like Eric said, I mean, the second movie is literally one of the worst things to ever exist in the history of filmmaking. I mean, I cannot believe that it even after somebody watched it said, yeah, you know what, we can release this. The fact that somebody said that was beyond me. So, yeah, I mean, to answer the question the way you posed it, I mean, if somebody on the street said, "Hey, I've never heard of Mortal Kombat, but I hear you guys watch movies. What do you think?" I would literally say, "Well, Mortal Kombat, the first one, is something that everybody who's ever existed has seen, at least that is 30 and under, or excuse me, 30 and over has seen this movie. But the second one is not worth your time. They give you a cliffhanger, and for whatever reason, they decided to make a second movie that is the worst movie of all time." And I'm even including The Room in that because this movie literally tore me apart. Okay, so
it's probably a good comparison, actually.
Yeah. Well, the difference is they knew when they were making The Room what they were making to a certain degree.
Even better.
So, man, oh man, I didn't think we were going to get into popcorn ratings. I didn't really think about it that much. I mean, if I had to give it a rating like that, I mean, I think the franchise overall gets a one bag, small bag, simply because, you know, Mortal Kombat, well, the first one is not a good movie. It's absolutely a terrible movie, but culturally and nostalgically, I still get goosebumps watching it. But Annihilation is literally, it did that to your brain. It annihilated your brain.
Nice. I'm on you guys with it as well. It's a small bag for a franchise. The first movie's just fun. I can't give it a medium or a large because it's not a great movie. But, you know, it's something I'm going to just go back and go, hey, Mortal Kombat, that's fun. So, all right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for listening to this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. And we are excited. Stay tuned because next Wednesday, we are coming live back at you for Avengers Endgame, something we're waiting for a long time for. So, and also for your James Bond fans out there, tomorrow they're going to announce the title of the James Bond film, and Rami Malek, the guy who played Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, will be the villain. So I'm excited for that one. Yeah, he's going to be the villain. So anyway, check us out next Wednesday here on youtube.com/Movie Guys Podcast, and you'll be able to check out a review of Marvel's Avengers Endgame. So thank you so much for listening, everybody, and have a good night.